Hello and welcome back. In this episode we are going to be making a portable auto miner. It's based on an idea from Toucan S. I've probably got that name completely wrong. I've just got two blocks here, they just changed my game mode. The idea of this is we're going to have a block which we can put down and it's going to mine any stone blocks around it. A little bit complicated for a block. I would probably want to do it with a mod or a plugin, but one of our rules is only command blocks. So that's what we're going to do. Now we can't target the block itself, we're going to need an entity. So let's create an item that we can use to create the block and create an entity we can target. I'm going to call it a minerKit. It's going to be my little kit that will deploy an auto miner for me. So give at p. I'm going to use an emerald block. You could use any item. Emerald item. So you speak when you type, and that is what happens. Now let's give it the most important thing. In fact, the only thing it really needs is this tag minerKit. But I'm also going to give it some display information. So let's separate that with a comma. Display. What display information I'm going to give it? I'm going to give it a name. And I'm going to give it some lore. Oh, I need two of those. And a colon. So inside the name, curly brackets, speech marks, comma, speech marks, curly brackets. And we're going to do the same in the lore. This is going to be text. It's going to be a minerKit. This is going to be text. And this will be the instructions. Throw on the floor to unpack. Done. Give myself the item. Well, I've only got one. I'm going to put an 8 on the end there, just so I don't have to faff around. I've got 9. Let's have a look at it. minerKit, throw on the floor to unpack, and it's got 2 tags. Excellent. So obviously at the moment it's not going to do anything. Let's sort that out. So first thing, let's make it so we can throw it on the floor and it creates the block. Create minerBlock. So we're going to want to target our minerKit when it's on the ground. So execute as any entity, we'll fill that in a minute. At that entity, run setblock emerald block place. Okay, so let's get some NBT data in here. NBT equals. So I want 2 bits of NBT data. First one is going to be related to the item. And the second one is going to be on ground. Okay, so in the item bit, it's going to be the tag. And it must have the tag minerKit. And so when it finds that, it's going to put an emerald block. It's going to be repeat. Now that by itself is pretty dangerous for your world because it doesn't delete the item, which means it's just going to be pushing that item around. Let's show you. Creating emerald blocks. Whoa, so we've got to get rid of that item. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of emerald blocks everywhere. But the first thing we want to do is create our entity. So let's say done. And we're going to get all of this bit here again. We're going to get execute as minerKit on the ground at s run. Shift home, copy all of that. Done. I'm going to paste that in there. And we are going to summon. I'm going to use an armor stand. We're going to summon an armor stand at those coordinates, and we're going to give it some extra information. I'm going to turn its gravity off, so if it mines the block underneath it, it's not going to fall. Otherwise, the miner block itself will stay there, and the entity will fall below it, and it won't work anymore. We're going to give it a tag. I call it minerBlock. I want it to be a marker so people can't interact with it. And in the end, I want it to be invisible. But for now, we'll make it so we can see it. Done. I'm going to get myself another one of those. And I'm going to use that same beginning bit. Execute at MBT tag minerKit OnGround at S run kill at S done on. Okay, let's throw one down, see what we get. Perfect. We've got our emerald block. We've got our entity that we can target. Nice. Throw another one down. Cool. Okay, let's get rid of those. And that automatically has shown us our first problem. They are not disappearing, which means as the player moves the auto miner, it's going to be leaving all these armor stands, which isn't good, especially since this is the auto miner. The block is just decoration. We are going to have to stop that. Let's kill, I'm going to say lonely. Let's kill the lonely miners. Now they're lonely if they don't have an emerald block. So we need to check for that. Execute as any entity. Let's not run this because I'm an entity. At that entity, run, execute, unless block at those coordinates is an emerald block, run, kill yourself. So that is targeting, let's just check that's an S there. Yeah, it is an S. That's targeting all entities. Let's put something in here. Tag equals minerBlock. Done. Turn it on. Bang. Okay. Put a minerBlock down. Fine. Put one down. Fine. We remove it. Yeah, we remove. Perfect. Okay. Now we want to be able to pick it back up again. So next, we're going to create a miner item. Okay, so button, put it on there. So what do we need to do to detect the miner item? So the emerald block will drop an untagged emerald block. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Execute as entity at the entity, run, give the nearest player an emerald block with some information. Okay, what entity do we want to target? We want to target an untagged emerald block. So we're going to need 2 bits of MBT data. MBT equals and an MBT doesn't equal. So MBT equals item ID Minecraft emerald block. So it's definitely an emerald block, but it doesn't equal item tag minerKit 1B. Okay, that seems pretty good. And we'll give ourselves an emerald block, which has to have the minerKit tag, otherwise we're just going to get a normal emerald block back. And the display, we're going to display 2 things. We're going to display the name and lore. So inside the name, we do the old curly brackets, speech marks, colon, speech marks, curly brackets. Same for the lore. This will be text, and we called it minerKit. This will be text, and it will be throw. Ooh, make sure they're the same, otherwise they won't stack. On the floor to unpack. Okay, home, Done. Now, did we put a full stop on this one? Yes, we did. Throw on the floor to unpack, full stop. Now, if we turn that on, and I give myself a normal emerald block, we're not killing the block. So what's going to happen is we're probably just going to get a lot of minerKits. Yeah, let's pick that up. It's not what we want. Well, if you wanted to cheat, it might be what you want. So let's get ourselves a chain block there. Let's kill that block. So what we'll do actually is we'll execute as Minecraft Emerald Block, MBT doesn't have minerKit at S run. In fact, we don't need that. We don't need that. Let's take all of that, done, and put it in here. Let's go home. We're not going to execute as, we're just going to kill. Done. Now, if I throw a normal emerald block on the floor now, I've got 45 minerKits. This should instantly die as soon as it comes out of my hand, and I should get 46. Yeah, okay. So, we put one down. Now, if I break it using creative, I am not going to drop an item, so I will not get a minerKit back. Let's put myself in survival. We've got 44, let's mine it. We've got 45. Put it down, mine it, 45. Perfect. Okay. Now what we need is the timer, so we can give ourselves one, we can create the block, we kill any spare entities, we can pick it back up. Let's get ourselves a timer, which is probably better if we're in creative. Well, that's not working, is it? That's a very successful button there. Game mode, creative at P. There we go. Useless. Right, let's give ourselves a timer. This is going to be our mining timer. Pop the lever on. Needs redstone. Repeat. Yeah. So we're going to have a scoreboard. Actually, we need a scoreboard. So scoreboard, objectives, add, timer, dummy, give it a nice name even though you'll never see it, timer. I've already made one. Okay. Scoreboard, players, add, and we are going to create a fake player. I'm going to call him minerBlock. Timer 1. We're going to add 1 to his timer score. So that's just going to keep going up. We don't want it to go up forever. Execute if score for who? Well, for our minerBlock timer matches. Now here's where you put how often you want it to mine. I'm going to have it mine every 2 seconds. So 2 seconds would be 40. I'm going to go or higher, just in case. And then we want to reset his timer there. So run scoreboard players set. And we called him minerBlock. Set his timer back to 0. Okay. Done. So we're going to 40, then to 0, 40 to 0, 40 to 0. Every time it resets, I want to do something. So this better be conditional. Now, reset. Reset is successful. The conditional can run. And I am going to get the coordinates of this block here. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to do set block at those coordinates. Redstone block replace. Okay. Turn him on. Every 2 seconds, we're getting a pulse. And that's when it will mine. Okay. Let's chuck in here. Oh, that went down too far. Let's chuck in here. Set block. The one above me, to white wool. Done. Let's turn him on. Now we should have a pulse. There we go. Pulse. Every 2 seconds we've got a little pulse going through there. Turn him off. So we want to target him, our minerBlock entity. So let's get our first command down here. So we're going to execute at any entity tag equals minerBlock. And this is why we needed to do all that to get the entity, because we can't target a block this way. So we're targeting at that entity. That's where the command is going to run. Run execute if block exactly where the entity is, we'll change that in a minute, is stone, then run setBlock exactly where the entity is, we're going to change that one in a minute, to air. Now we don't want replace. Replace will just make it vanish. If we do destroy though, it will drop its item. Okay, so we're going to check +1 on the X, +1 on the X. That is going to be an impulse. +1 on the X is that direction. So every 2 seconds, pulse, every 2 seconds, it's going to check here for a stone. And if it finds one, it should destroy it. So it's not going to check here, it's only going to check here. Boom. And there's our cobble. So he's mined that stone. Boom. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Now, pretty simple. We want to do this one as well. This is a disadvantage. We do have to have a block for, we do have to have a command block for every relative position. So I'm only going to do 4 positions. I only need 4 command blocks. If you're doing 100, it's getting a bit crazy, which is why I would use a plugin. Let's put one here. Always active chain. Let's copy the whole thing from this one and paste it in here. And let's check everything's okay, pretty much. The only difference is this time I'm going to be checking -1 and -1. Done. Now, what we really wanted to do is to mine this one, then next time mine this one. But what is going to happen is it's going to mine both. Not what we want. And this is another disadvantage because these commands are going to get longer and longer and longer as we go. I need to check this block. Fill, tab, tab, tab. So I'm going to say, were you successful? If you were, I'm not going to do anything. If you weren't, I will mine my block. So let's go to the beginning. And what we need to do then is execute if the block at the coordinates I just copied is a command block, run. Now it is a command block, so it will run. So let's add a little bit of information. Was it unsuccessful? So execute if block, command block, success count 0. So if he didn't work, this one didn't work, this one should work. Let's have a try. That one's gone. He can't. That one goes. Perfect. So I think you can probably see the idea of what we're going to do here. I am going to control middle mouse and copy that one. Put it down. But he has to check that he didn't work and he didn't work. So this one has to check both of these. So by default, it's already checking this one. So we just need to check that one. Let's check the direction we're looking. -x. So -1 on the -x. Execute if block -1 is a chain. This time remember it's a chain command block this time, not a command block. Put the run in there. Don't forget the success count 0. Okay. And right to the end, let's check 1 on the Z, 1 on the Z. Done. So he is checking that block, make sure it's not successful, and checking that block to make sure it's not successful. And if neither of them were, I've thrown away my stone. It's going to mine that one. So, boom, boom, boom. This one won't get mined. Let's turn him on. Bang. 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 Yeah, it's looking good. Every 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. Turn it off. And I'm going to do this one as well. So I'm going to copy. Just find a space. Control middle mouse. Let's have a look at him. Let's do minus. Minus. And let's go to the beginning. So we need to add execute if block -1. That's okay. And we need to also add for this one, shift home, control copy, go to the beginning, paste that back because we also need to add -2. So this one is checking -2, it's checking -1, and it's checking this block. So every time you add one block, you are going to have to check the blocks before it. We've got -1 on the Z, and then it's +1. Okay, so let's get some stone around this thing. It should mine all of those. Yep. Yep. This one. Yep. This one. Yep. Excellent. Let's do a little experiment. Let's put some stone down. This is our mountain. Now we're not mining above or below, but you can see how we can quite easily. If you wanted to mine above, take that off. Mine one above. Oh, mine one above. Mine one below. Mine one below. We're only going to be checking the 4. Let's put ourselves, let's go review, put ourselves into survival. Okay. So we come along, we chuck down our miner, boink. Oh, it's got 1, it's got 2, and it only does the ones at the moment around it. So you would want to add probably more blocks to this. Perfect. And I'm going to pick it up. It's mined all the stone it can. Let me pick it up and let me put it down here instead. 1, 2, it's mined everything it can. Let's pick it up. Put it down here. 1, 2, lovely. So we can move it around. It's going to keep mining. What happens if they don't throw it and they just right click it? Well, they put it down, but you don't have the entity, so it's not going to mine. They haven't lost it. They just pick it up. So it's not a problem. And then they put it down properly. Perfect. So that is how we make a little deployable auto miner. One little bit of polish that we're going to need, does this button work this time? Yes, thank you, is, not you, where are you, in here? Yes, let's make that marker invisible. Now let's go and try it. That's better, now we can't see the marker. Okay, and you can have more than one. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's do some more over here. And we'll just throw one in there, and we'll throw one in there. You see they will quite happily mine away, dropping their blocks. Perfect. I would say job done. So hope that is helpful. Especially, so let's butcher the name, Toucanen S. That is the solution I came up with. Hope that helps you a little bit. And for anyone else, I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.